Hey guys, I want to go over on some rules that DeviantArt did not at all cover or enact or make happen. Here's a list of rules. Rule number one: no Lucio X Diva art or fanfiction of any kind is permitted. That's a simple rule, a simple guideline that DeviantArt did not enact at all. Rule number two: no making of DOA X Final Fantasy LGBTQ art of any kind is not permitted. There is one individual who broke that rule on DeviantArt. Now that's one rule that should have been enacted. Might I add you. Now rule number three is no thanks for the fave comments nor hate comments are permitted. That's a big old rule right there. No trolling and no ignoring other people's works so far. Number four, no art depicting Persephone as Hades' wife is not permitted. That shouldn't be a no-brainer. Well, also number five is no unwanted or unwelcomed character shipping art is permitted. That's a rule that is often broken. Number six is no making any art that makes other users cringe. Big rule there. But that rule was never enacted because why? The whole rule wound up going against what was supposed to be happening. And there's another amount of rules that was never enacted at all. But I'll get into that later in a later video. Now, it's been a problem for a lot of time, for a lot of years, and I'm just sick and tired of it happening to draw down the downfall of the very, very problematic, the problematic deviant art. Because Angelo Sotira doesn't want to make these rules happen. But the rules are just not being enacted because Angelo Sotira is not following protocol. He isn't following protocol, deactivating accounts of those who he doesn't have permission from deactivating their accounts for whatever stupid reason. You do not have the user's permission to deactivate their account. So you go figure. Now, if you were to follow protocol, you'd understand. You cannot be getting away with this kind of shit. at all. It is not okay. You cannot be allowing shit like this to happen. Now, if somebody wanted to have their account deactivated, they would have, you know, pressed deactivate. And but the simple fact is that the rules are not clear cut and are not being enacted. I mean, it's just wrong on so many levels to allow like heterophobia going on there. Big surprise there. Which in turns it needs to be more enacted as a big old rule book of everything that you're supposed to, do and not do. There's a do's and do nots as a art sharing platform. Do not deactivate the user's account without their permission. Do make rules that are not suggestions by the users, that are rules that you should have enacted before starting the platform. Big surprise there. Now, what we need to do is put a lot of emphasis on things that should have been enacted. Now, if we had, made progress with this kind of thing, we wouldn't see bad things happen to good accounts. Now, if we had, made rules and regulations for the platforms to follow, as follows, the rules are not clear cut and precise enough for the CEOs to understand or pick up on. Now, if we had, rules that were, clear cut and precise and easier for the CEOs to understand, they don't understand basic logical rule manufacturing or guideline manufacturing. Some users don't give permission or consent for their accounts to be deactivated. You have to have the consent or the permission of the user to deactivate their account for safety reasons, for their own safety. Like, whether if the mafia is going to come after them and they know who they are, that's when you deactivate somebody's account online with punity, legal protection, and safety to prevent the mafia from going after somebody or targeting them through social media. That's when you have to, blatantly protect them. But if they're posting art or posting whatever they want on their social medias, you do not have consent or permission to deactivate their account or suspend their account. Blatantly obvious. Now, they ask you to deactivate their accounts to prevent the mafia from coming after them. That's when you do it as a social media CEO. That's a fucking rule that all social media CEOs must follow. Deactivate the accounts of the people for their own safety. Don't deactivate their accounts just because they post something that they want to post. Now, if the mafia is coming after them, that's another story entirely. There's a clear-cut consensus that social media CEOs must follow. Don't sell the account information of your users. Don't let your users get hacked. And don't let any criminal organization threaten to kill the users of the social media platform. But if they're posting whatever it is that they want, and it's all that has nothing to do with them being, like being violent or being threatful, if they're not like causing any harm, that's when you should leave their accounts alone. Simple as that. I'm so tired of things like this happening. But then again, Angela Sotira did not want to follow the rules. That's the problem with social media CEOs. Social media CEOs don't know how to follow correct rules. Now, I propose is that we have reform. Bring on the very changes that needs to happen. Only deactivate somebody's social media account if there's a dangerous criminal organization going to come after them to kill them. That's when you deactivate their accounts for their safety and put them in witness protection. That's when you do so. But if they're posting whatever, as long as it's not underage hentai, it's good. Big surprise there. Now we need to start doing whatever it is we need to do and start leaving people's accounts alone unless if the mafia is targeting them or the yakuza is targeting them or the cartel is targeting them or any gang or any criminal organization is targeting them. Now, criminal murderous organization that's targeting them, that's when you delete their account. That's when you deactivate their account and delete their account. Is when their lives are being threatened. That's when you do so. Like, say, if they're like posting pics of poop on the internet, that is not justification enough to try to remove their online presence. And that's what really needs to start happening. Like, we really need deviantart to follow that protocol. That's when you do the right thing. But if somebody doesn't like a character shipping, make it much more easier for them to report what they don't like. Simple as that. I mean, I'm just so tired of this shit getting so bad. So tired of it. But oh, no, 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 no. We have to have, oh, you can't post poop anywhere on the internet without somebody being, like, having a bad attitude about that. Like, what is this world coming to? where you can't post anything all in good fun about what you want versus what actually offends somebody. Or if your life is being endangered. Just saying. And if you're Angelo Sotira and you're watching this, you fucked up big time with me and multiple others. Fix this.